Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. So, chosen, there's quite a few people that's going to miss out on their blessings. They're going to miss out on new opportunities. They're going to miss out on open doors because they continue to drag their huge ego along with them, not realizing that that ego will not fit through those doors, okay, that's opening for them. That ego is only going to weigh them down and is most definitely going to prevent them from being able to get to the next level in life. A lot of people have gotten so accustomed to allowing their ego to speak for them and to move for them and to make decisions for them that they don't know what to do without that energy being at the forefront of every decision and action in their life. But the fact of the matter is, you are a major component in a lot of these people's growth and progression. You are. But you have gone through the necessary ego deaths, right? It could have been multiple ego deaths because it's layers and layers of that in different areas of life that people would have to die to in order to really rise into their divinity. And so, because you have done that work to shed the unhealthy ego, it is required that if these beings are to move on to the next level, and that next level is attached to you, then they are going to have to leave the unhealthy ego that they've been dragging with them behind. Like literally destroy it. Okay? Utter destruction. However you need to put it to rest, do that. That's what they're going to have to do. And this is a very uncomfortable position for these beings because their ego has been their safe haven. It's been that thing that has protected them from maybe hurt or feeling less valuable or, whatever unhealthy emotion that they did not want to have to feel, their unhealthy ego was there to mask it and to give them this false sense of self-assurance. But because a large part of their destiny is connected to you, and in order to connect to you, they have to be on a particular vibrational frequency, they have to go through this unhealthy ego death. They have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's going to be a lot of people that miss out on blessings because they refuse to let it go. And your position chosen is to let them stay bogged down, burdened, weighed down, trodden down with their unhealthy ego. Your position is to say, oh, well, that's on you. If you don't see it, if you refuse to see it, if you want to reject facts, you don't want to accept that that's no longer serving you, live in it. Live your truth. Live your illusionary truth. Even if their truth is falsehood, let them live in it. Let them sit in it. Let them bask in it. Let them bathe in it. Meanwhile, you're going to be moving forward light as a feather. Okay? Because to try to drag someone along with you while they're carrying this heavy, unhealthy ego is nothing more than an anchor. Because you're going to constantly have to stroke that ego. You're going to constantly have to nurture that ego. You're going to constantly have to feed that ego because that ego has a whole life of its own. And if you are in a space of desperation to bring that person with you, it's almost like you have to accept the unhealthy ego that is that ball and chain that they carry with them everywhere that they go. And it needs to be fed too. And the only type of thing that will feed that ego is low vibrational toxic energy. And who got time for that? not the chosen. For some people, for many people, this is the last thing that needs to be shed. Considering that the unhealthy ego is directly connected to the solar plexus, right? A blocked solar plexus, which is the last of the lower chakras, right? You got the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus. And anytime a person lives in those three chakras, they have not done the work. They're not really aligned. I'm talking about when they're blocked now. They haven't done the work. And it's hard for them to get to the heart. When the ego, the unhealthy ego is present, it's hard for that person to live from their heart and to accept your love, to accept your compassion, to accept your empathy, to accept your transparency and vulnerability. It's going to be very, very difficult for that person who carries that ego with them in every area of life to accept your love, chosen. And so you are not walking around with a trick bag to throw a bone at these beings' unhealthy ego in order to feed it. Heck no, that's going to weigh you down too. Because not only do you have to carry the person, but you got to carry the ego, and you got to carry the doggy bones to throw at the ego just to keep it fed. Who the hell got time for that? So leave these beings exactly where they stand. Because in a lot of cases, the only way that they'll be able to recognize that that ego is becoming their biggest vice is by you saying, you know what? Have at it. I'm done. And continue moving on. Suddenly they'll start to look at themselves and realize like, dang, well, maybe I do need to work on some things. Maybe I do need to stop being so arrogant and so, egotistical and, letting my pride get in the way of speaking my truth. Maybe I do need to start, removing that energy or that need to be right, that need to be, at the top all the time. Maybe I do need to just relax. Take a damn chill pill. They'll start to look at themselves and they'll start to realize that it is truly inauthentic to them, because they're going to realize just how many doors they literally allowed to shut in their face because they couldn't avoid bringing that big ass ego with them, knowing good and damn well it ain't going to fit in between that door. Nope. It's a narrow space for a reason. This path is narrow for a reason. And if everybody brought their unhealthy egos with them, please, you might as well go ahead and take the wide path, because that's where that type of stuff belongs, in the direction that most of the sheeple and the sleeple are headed in. That's the only direction that you can go down where the unhealthy ego can reside and have enough room for it. But the narrow path, there's no room for that. And I feel like a lot of these beings, they won't admit to the fact that a large part of their success, their growth, their wisdom is directly connected to you, chosen. And they don't like that. The unhealthy ego doesn't like it. It doesn't. It doesn't like that they might have to, take a back seat and accept like, okay, well, maybe she does have some wisdom that can help me to align and to become a better version of myself. Maybe he does have some wisdom that, can help me to heal and to, have some growth and success in life. A lot of times people just don't want to have to give you credit. And it ain't that you looking for no damn credit. You're not looking for no accolades from man. You get your accolades from the Most High Mother and Father. But see, these beings with these unhealthy egos in their mind assume that, oh, I would have to give that person, I would have to give that chosen seed accolades, because if I become successful, or if I have growth, or if I heal because of something that they told me, or because of something that they gave me or did for me, then in the back of their mind, they now have to acknowledge you. Not even understanding that you just following suit with your calling. You're just doing what you was guided to do, because you've already died to the unhealthy ego. So you look for no validation from man, not even those people who benefit. Not even the ones who benefit off of the things that you do. You don't need validation from them. The fact that they've evolved as a result of the wisdom that you might have shared, or the actions that you might have taken in their lives, that's enough for you to see that you are in fact having an impact on the world, and that's good enough for you. You're more humbled by the idea that the Most High Mother and Father would even choose you to be a vessel to assist others. But the unhealthy egotistical individual assumes that now they are like now their existence must consist of them bowing down before you, right? Now they must always give you reverence, give you acknowledgement, because you're the one that guided them down the pathway. You don't need that. So a lot of them will purposely avoid your wisdom. They'll purposely avoid doing those things that you suggest in terms of healing, and they'll purposely avoid taking your advice because they can't stand the idea that if it actually works for them, that you will have been that person that actually impacted them in a positive way. It's really sad. It's really unfortunate for a lot of these beings, because some of these beings have gotten the call to go in a particular direction that's connected to you, chosen. But they're going to end up missing out on their mark because that ego is going to be that one thing that chokes them. It's just like, in the biblical text where it spoke about the seeds that fell upon the wayside and got choked up by the weeds. It's like, damn, you was almost there. You was almost there. But you wouldn't let that damn ego go. You really let that cause you to miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Really? It's not your problem, chosen. If they can't accept the fact that you are just simply aligning with your calling, and that your calling is actually going to impact them in a positive way if they just go through the transformation and leave behind those things that just, it ain't working no more. If they can't accept that you are a major component in their forward movement and growth and expansion, and humbly accept that, and just be okay with that. Be okay with the fact that, damn, you need some help. Be okay with the fact that the Most High has sent you some help, right? That's how they should be looking at it. Just be grateful. Have gratitude for it. Give thanks for it. That the right person was sent into your life to give you some guidance and to help you up out of a very compromising position. Give thanks that somebody actually showed up that knew a little bit more than you. Not because they're smarter, just simply because they've experienced things that allowed them to be sure about how to navigate certain journeys. That's all. They took, it's like, as the chosen seed, you've taken enough pathways that presented obstacles for you to where now you understand how to navigate through those obstacles. And so now when certain people come into your life, you know how to give them guidance because you done damn near faced a bit of everything. I don't know too many chosen seeds out here that don't have story after story after story, experience after experience after experience of hardship, and still being able to say they came out strong on the other side, stronger than what they were when they went into the situation. And that's because you learned how to grow after being buried. You became the phoenix in every situation. You've risen higher and higher through every obstacle and came out with wisdom, not knowledge, but wisdom, because you applied those things that you learned. And now you're just a very wise individual. And sometimes people just assume that, okay, well, I don't know, not that person. They way younger than me. What the hell they gonna tell me? Or they're way less studied. They've read far less books than me. What the hell they gonna tell me? Or they're far less educated than me. What the hell they gonna tell me? Or they have far less money than me. What the hell they gonna tell me? It's so many people out here who allow their ego to make them miss out on doorways just off the strength that is connected to you, chosen. So like I said, when you find that you lead them to that doorway, and they keep on getting stuck right there at the corridor because they keep on trying to drag that big ass ego with them, let them stay right there and keep on moving. You walk through the doorway yourself. Don't even look back. Because if they can't cut that anchor, and they have every tool that they need to cut it, every tool that they need to let go of that unhealthy version of themselves. If they don't utilize their own abilities to release that thing that they know is no longer serving them, then they don't deserve to walk through that door with you. So that's my message for you all. That's all I had to say, y'all. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. And I'll talk to y'all next time.